sea is bleeding white, cutting through the dead of night. Needles buried in the black, there's no turning, no way back. Voltage screaming in the wire, logic feeding on the fire. Every circuit, every bone is vibrating on its own. I'm a ghost inside the grid, doing what they never did. Every lock and every door doesn't matter anymore. foreign street, walking on the rhythm of 1,000 feet. The skyscrapers reaching for a piece of the sky, while the winners and the losers just pass you by. Check your reflection in a chrome-plated door. You're hungry for the habit and you're begging for more. The asphalt is burning to the soles of your shoes in a city that was built on the rhythm of the blues. There's no safety net, there's no place to hide. You gotta keep the fire burning deep down inside. In the concrete jungle gym, in the concrete jungle gym, you gotta climb the iron or you're gonna go slim. Concrete jungle gym, only the strong are gonna learn how to swim. In the concrete jungle gym. Neon lightning in a gutter of gold, trading in your spirit for the stories you told. The pressure is rising like the steam from the grate. Don't let them tell you that it's out up to fate. There's no safety net, there's no place to hide. You gotta keep the fire burning deep down inside. In the concrete jungle gym, you gotta climb the iron or you're gonna go slim. Jungle gym, only the strong are gonna learn how to swim. In the concrete jungle gym. Step by step, higher, floor by floor. You're reaching for the light. Watch out! In the concrete jungle gym, you gotta climb the iron or you're gonna go slim. Jungle gym, only the strong are gonna learn how to swim. Climb it, don't come no gym, you're never gonna break me. Penthouse view of a hollow street, silver spoon but nothing to eat. Silent halls and a marble floor, while the world is screaming at my door. Silk and satin, velvet and stone, build a kingdom to sit here alone. Every dollar, every cent bought the shadow of a life well spent. The higher I climb, the colder the air, running a race to get to nowhere. Every trophy on the shelf is a wall between me and myself. luxury of loneliness. It's a long way down to the tombs. I got the power, I got the gold, but I'm shivering out in the cold. The luxury of being alone. It's a luxury I can't afford. Silicone soul and a circuit board, living for the buzz of a neon cord. I see your face on a liquid screen, the coldest beauty I've ever seen. Your program perfect, your pixel tight, moving like a laser through the night. I'm reaching out for a hand to hold, but all I find is a chip of gold. You're a system error in my head. Everything we lived is glowing red. There's a ghost inside the mainframe line. monstrosity of the night. Be Radio silence in a sea of gray, scanning for a reason just to stay. I'm picking up a ghost on a dead-end dial, somewhere in the distance of 1,000 miles. A flicker in the speaker, a crack in the code, a heavy-duty heart about to explode. I'm dialing in the rhythm, I'm chasing the hum, waiting for the lightning and the beat of the drum. It's a whisper in the middle of a hurricane, a needle drop of pleasure in a world of pain. I hear the calling, I feel the pull, the broadcast is empty but the signal is full. Siren in the static, wired to the rhythm of a heart erratic. Siren in the static, nothing's gonna stop the automatic. You're the high frequency, you're the white heat, crying out for mercy in the middle of the street. Siren in the static, siren in the static. Voltage in the attic, pressure in the pipes, living for the glamour of the neon lights. I'm a pilot in the cockpit of a chrome machine, guided by a vision on a cathode screen. The interference is a beautiful sound, better than the silence of the underground. Don't adjust the picture, don't change the tone. Finally connected to the great unknown. It's a whisper in the middle of a hurricane, a needle drop of pleasure in a world of pain. I hear the calling, I feel the pull, the broadcast is empty but the signal is full. Siren in the static, wired to the rhythm of a heart erratic. Siren in the static, nothing's gonna stop the automatic. You're the high frequency, you're the white heat, crying out for mercy in the middle of the street. Siren in the static, can you hear me? Can you feel me? Through the toy, it's a digital love in a physical gray. Power up! Siren in the static, wired to the rhythm of a heart erratic. Siren in the static, nothing's gonna stop the automatic. Siren static, stay on the line. Stay on the line. I'm never gonna lose the signal. grid goes down, and the lights burn out in the heart of town. When the grid goes down, you finally see what the ghost has found. No more signals, no more wires, just the heat of the primitive fires. When the grid goes down. Analog survival in a digital grave. Nothing left to delete or to save. The satellites are falling from the sky like silver tears in a binary eye. Strip away the neon and the chrome. Find a new way to lead us home. I'm reaching for your hand across the black. There's no way to turn the power back. The safety net is snapping in the dark, searching for the friction and the spark. The system failing, the walls are thin. Now the real world is leaking in. When the grid goes down, and the lights burn out in the heart of town. When the grid goes down, you finally see what the ghost has found. No more signals, no more wires, just the heat of the primitive fires. When the grid goes down. No more screens, no more lies. Look at me with your own eyes. The empire is falling. Into the back out. When the grid goes down, and the lights burn out in the heart of town. When the grid goes down, you finally see what the ghost has found. No more signals, no more wires, just the heat of the primitive fires. When the grid goes down. a bated breath, dancing on the edge of a quiet death. No smoke rising, no cannons roar, just the heavy shadow of a silent war. I'm tactical, I'm bulletproof, hiding in the bunker of a broken truth. We're shaking hands while the knives are out, losing the battle to the ghost of a doubt. There's no medals for the scars inside, nowhere left for a heart to hide. The front line moves across the floor. I can't remember what we're fighting for. A private kind of war, fighting for a story that was never told. Watching as the iron turns to gold. We don't need an army, we don't need a stage to burn the bridge and to build the cage. It's a private kind of war. It's a private kind of war. A casual look, a strategic strike. Everything about us is a landslide light.